So, um, Will, how's tricks? How's your lockdown been? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been all right actually. I've been at my mum and dad's back in Sandbach in Cheshire. Just been keeping myself busy. Do lots of chores for mum and dad, helping them in the garden.
Seen the video.
Yeah. My dad roped me into some decking.
You seem to be doing most of the work though. It's quite well played from him.
He was brains behind it, and I just lumbered everything around. But it's good. Yeah, I've had some quality time with the parents, which has been nice. But other than
Weren't
that,
you supposed to have something else on a couple of weeks ago though, that you've obviously had to delay?
Yeah, I was supposed to get married, but due to circumstances, we've postponed it till next year.
Mate, the
But
things lads will do to get out about getting married, eh?
I know, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
measures.
a dream.
So you mentioned your previous club at Sandbach.
Yes, that's the
Sandbach.
one, yeah.
It's quite a renowned club. It produces some very talented players, doesn't it? What was your kind of rugby story from that club to where you are now then?
So I was at Sandbach, mini junior level, sort of started playing 6 or 7. My brother was there, so just wanted to play myself. Played there, went to the school in Sandbach, ended up playing for the senior team at Sandbach, and then, after that, I went to university in Leeds. But I'd say playing for Sandbach sort of got me going, got me where I am now, because it's such a good club to be at. Like, people above you look after you, people below you start pushing you. But it's such a great club to be involved in. It's sort of like a really local club. Don't pay players, and they, very traditional about that. They probably won't ever do that. So rely on local talent, and I think that's got something to it, because you get a good group of lads together. They stick together for years, and you can see the progress. And we did that. And when I was there, we had quite a successful few years. But anyway, yeah. So I went to Leeds, went to university. Then from that, sort of went into England Students, is where Ian Davies, the old DOR, sort of picked me up and said, do you want to come to Cornwall? And that was it, really.
Right, never look back.
Never look back. Yeah, 6 years later.
With you talk about the kind of club that Sandbach is. I keep saying that wrong. I keep saying the Welsh way, Sandbach. No, that Sandbach is. It's quite. Again, I had a conversation with James McRae as well, and all about your rugby journey and stuff. And it's good to see that there is still a way into professional rugby without going down that kind of typical academy satellite kind of route and getting kind of golfed into it. And I think there's a lot to be said about the clubs, like you said, that have that kind of mentality where you have a group of players together, and they're there not because they're getting paid. They're there because they want to be there. They want to be with their mates, and they want to play with their mates, and they want to perform with them.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot to be said about that, and there's not a lot of that in rugby these days at the higher levels.
I think with that as well is sort of when I was 16, 17, 18, I was never the best player in the team. A few boys went to play in academies, all county stuff, and I was sort of just a mediocre sort of player, but I worked hard. And I think some people, when they do that, they see all these people going to academies and playing county in North England, they sort of get disheartened and think, oh, that's me, that's my chance done. But there's so many different ways around it. And my sort of way into it was going to university. Leeds had a good link with, obviously, York's Carnegie, and they were doing quite well at the time then. And I sort of went around it a different way, and I was lucky enough then to get picked up by Pirates. But yeah, I just think it's not the be all and end all going into academies and doing all this, because sometimes the lads who go into academies don't end up playing any rugby, and they that's it, they're done.
Yeah, I think the uni route actually, because when I did it, this is years ago, it involved, so the academy was affiliated with the university at Worcester. So we went to rugby training in the morning and uni in the afternoon. So we had our education, and we were also in that academy system. I don't think it's like, the training's a lot more intense these days. I don't quite think it's the same, but you look at the Americans, NFL, it's all based around studying, your qualifications, college. Mind you, they get 150,000 people watching college games. But, that's almost seems like a better route, because you do get the education as well. Because rugby players are it's a short-lived career, and you need something to fall back on, don't you, as well?
Yeah, 100%. I know a lot of lads as well who've been into academies and then they've made it, but then they sort of come towards the end of their career and they're like, oh, I should do a degree now. I should probably do something. So yeah, there is pluses to it, but obviously going into academies and then making it into the Premier League, a lot of players have done really well that way. I'm not saying that's not a good way, but I just think there's other ways around it. Definitely.
Yeah, there's many ways to skin a cat. Is that the saying?
That's the one. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
so.
bit bleak. So you've been at the Pirates for a while now. What is it? How long is it now?
I think we're going into my sixth year. Is it? Yeah, I think sixth season.
How many games you got on your belt? I was going to ask Phil Western, but I figured you know.
I think it's about 110 now.
That's not bad. You led the team out yet?
What's that?
You led the team out in your 100th game, did you?
Yeah.
I was gutted.
Yeah,
I forgot about mine. They, I can't remember who. Heino Senecal played his 100th game, and in the program, it was like, "Oh, Heino's leading the team out. He was an old player." Everyone clapped, and in the program, it said, "Congratulations to Matt Evans and Roger McCarthy that have also done 111 and 110 respectively." But we just forgot. So, but no. So, what is it you like about the club? Obviously, to spend 6 seasons at a club, there's got to be something about it. You're not just sticking around because you've got nowhere else better to be.
Yeah, I think everyone who plays for Pirates always, if they do leave, end up missing it. I've spoken to loads of people that have left since I was there. People like Tom Riley, you remember Riley's? They say they miss Hull so much because it is such a nice place to live, and I love the sort of the club feel about it. You're so far away from everything. Everyone's living in the same sort of areas, so all you've got is each other. And it's quite similar to what I said about sandbaches. You've got all your mates there, and you play for each other. And I think Pirates has that, and every single year I've been there. Even if new lads come in, such a welcoming sort of club, and I love that sort of club feel about it. And obviously, Cornwall's a great place to live.
You talk about the sandbach. Everyone's been there for a long time. You're getting that kind of feel of the Pirates now as well, aren't you? You look at the squad kind of turnover in the last 3 or 4 years, particularly this year from last year. It is going to be very much the same, and you're looking to build on the performance rather than try and fit new players in. Do you think that'll have a positive outcome or a negative one?
100% positive. It's got to. We had a pretty good season last year, and we've kept most of the boys. And I think everyone's raring to go whenever we can get going. But we've got such a good squad, and we've kept most of the boys. So I'm excited.
So what you talk about last year, what are your thoughts? How do you think last year went in regards to, obviously it was cut short because of the pandemic, but on a whole, what was your kind of feelings after it?
Frustrated, obviously, because we were doing quite well. We were third, we could push for second. I think Newcastle just got a bit too far away. Frustrated at finish, but obviously there's nothing we can do about that, and rightly so for the reasons being it had to get stopped. But sometimes we lack a bit of consistency when we get on a roll. If we get on a good run, we'll then sort of lose a game, and then that'll sort of domino effect. We'll lose a few more, but then we get back on the horse. We do really well. So it's sort of that feeling last year is we did well, dropped off a few games, but no, I think we were third, pushing for second. I think it's pretty good last season. I think we were quite happy with it. So
with you personally, you're obviously fighting for the 10 shirt. Very important shirt to wear. Probably, in my opinion, no Ford would agree with you, but it's probably the most important position on the park, in my opinion. You're battling for that shirt with Javier. You're both completely different players, in my opinion, but both very, very talented players. How is that for you? Is it a good thing that you're always constantly pushed, or is it a bad thing that you never really get that consistency because you can almost pick a player per team you're playing against?
Yeah. So we're both very different. Like you say, we are different. Javier can sort of make something out of nothing. Very talented player, very skillful player. Whereas I'm sort of like to play the game plan, like to put players through gaps. But it's a good thing. We push each other all the time. We work together all the time off the pitch. We're quite sort of team orientated. We both want to do well for the team. So I'd say it's really good. We push each other. His sort of strengths I try and watch and learn from, and he does the same to me. We ask each other questions all the time. It's a good thing. Obviously, we both want to be playing. We want to start, but team comes first.
How do you feel? Because sometimes, obviously, I had a couple of injuries in centre, and Javier slipped down to the 12 shirt. That was always interesting because you almost had that kind of Ford Farrell axis, didn't you, in the turn 12 shirt? And it changed the game plan because you've got a lot of centres like Callum Patterson, fantastic player.
Yeah.
When you play him on the pitch, he's just get over that gain line, get over that gain line. But when you've got you and Javier, it's a little different.
Cal will tell you he's a fly off as well, though. Not
Well,
just
I've seen him kicking in the warm-ups, but I mean, I used to kick in the warm-ups, but I never took one on the pitch.
Sorry, what was the question?
So, when you have Gavi outside you, does that kind of add a different element to the game plan? And how is it playing with him outside you as opposed to kind of battling for that shirt?
Yeah, it does change the game plan a little bit. Although Javier can crash it up if he needs to. He's quite a strong boy. But yeah, it's another playmaker outside you. He can see something that I might not have seen, so he'll communicate that into me. Yeah, it's quite good. We can got a few combinations in the back line we can change around. So yeah, it's a good thing, and I enjoy playing with Habs outside me as well.
With the Premiership rugby is due to start, well, they're saying like mid-August. I think that's their plan. What are your thoughts on that, and how that's going to the knock-on effect for all the leagues below? Because obviously you're sitting there as a professional sportsman, getting geared up for the next season, but you don't know when it's going to start. What kind of effect does that have on you?
It's a tough one because you just don't know. Like there's chats we could start in November, then there's chats we could start in January. So I think, well, my mindset is just be patient, keep doing what I'm doing here, and just wait till you see what happens. But yeah, it's frustrating. You want to play, you want to get going, but obviously the Premiership they'll get going soon. I think, like you say, it's August time, and then Sarri's obviously getting relegated, so they've got to have time to finish the season and rest, or I suppose. And I don't. It's not
a weird one because some people might see it. Some kind of negative people, sometimes like myself, will see it in the way that so every other bit of rugby has to wait so the Premiership can finish its league. Yeah. Why are they more important? I know it's money orientated, but you look at clubs like the Pirates, Ealing, all the Championship clubs, they're also rely on income from revenue and all that kind of stuff. Why does the Premiership take priority over the clubs below, and why have we got to wait for them to finish? Again, you don't have to answer this question because, like I said, it's not ideal putting a player in your kind of position on the spot, but just your thoughts around it.
Yeah, if the Premiership seems to get all the sort of all the money and all the joy and everything, and they're at the top of the league, and rightly so. They get looked after. But it would be nice sometimes, as a Championship player, we're still professional rugby players, to get a little bit more, maybe. But the RFU are doing what they need to do, and to get rugby back playing, I'm sure they're going to do the right thing. But at the moment, we're just sitting tight and waiting.
Nice political correct answer. Very clear. So, Premiership football's back on. I hear that you're into your football. How do you think that's kind of kicked off so far? Empty stadiums, crowd noise, taking the knee, all that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on all of that so far?
Enjoying it back on the TV, enjoying watching it most nights. You can see they're all a bit tentative. The first half, they're a bit slow, working each other out, but that's always going to happen after a long time off. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Big Man United fan, so they beat Sheffield United 3-0 the other night. So
wow, joint killers, jeez.
Yeah, so no, I'm enjoying it. You say taking the knee as well? Yeah. I think it's very
big
powerful
things happening at the moment.
Yeah, very powerful statement, and I think we see what Rashford's done with the changing the government stuff. I think Premiership football players are very high profile, so yeah, I think making that statement, really good.
It's a 12-week statement again with the names on the back and stuff like that as well, isn't it? So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because it's good that for once, and you look at Marcus Rashford, that people are using their elevated position in society, whether it not necessarily be money, but their kind of profile, to make people aware of bigger issues. And it's relatively new, really. But I guess we've had so much go on this year that people have had more of an opportunity to highlight that. It'd be interesting to see if when rugby kicks off, Premiership and all that kind of stuff, if we kind of buy into that kind of thing as well, because rugby is a very followed sport as well. So that would be interesting.
Be interesting to see, and I think everyone would get on board with that. Yeah, so we'll see.
The rugby, because end of the day, that's all I know about. Final question. So what are you hoping to achieve this year at the club? Obviously, we've got a lot of uncertainty, start dates and all that kind of stuff. But personally and as a squad, what are you hoping to get out of this coming season?
I think build on last year with third pushing second. If we can secure that second place and push first, that's a step forward. Obviously, we strive to win every single game. So that's the mindset we go with every year. And yeah, if we can prove one again from last year, that'll be a bonus. Personally, I think, just keep on getting that shirt as much as I can, as the 10 shirt. Keep on pushing the team around, keep improving sort of the younger players now. I'm getting a bit older, so I like to.
How old are you now?
Just turned 31 in April.
Yeah, okay, you're only 4 years younger than me.
No,
you look spring chicken, are you, pal?
22 at heart.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So no, I think I'd like to play a bit more of that sort of role next year. Is push the younger lads on and help them as much as I can. But yeah, just do as well as I can for the club.
What teams do you think are they going to be there to watch this year? I've been looking at a couple of the signings. Ealing have made some very big signings. London Scottish have made some physically big human being signings. And also, I've seen some of the people that Saracens are bringing in. So obviously they're going to be a threat. But you look at the people that are coming in. Who are your teams to watch this year?
Cornish Pirates, obviously.
Obviously. What have you said about consistency?
Yeah, we'll be consistent next year. That's what we're going to work on, I think. But Sarries, I think everyone's looking forward to playing them. They've made some good signings as well, some good champ players. But Ealing are thereabouts every year. And Jersey have made quite a few good signings. Look forward to playing them. Always a good old battle against them. So yeah, I think Jersey, ourselves, and obviously Sarries, Ealing.
There we are. That's what I say. That's pretty much my thought. Jersey seems to be picking the kind of the top players in the championship, aren't they? They've looked around and they've highlighted some good players through their scouting system, and they've kind of cherry picked some good players. Whereas Ealing are looking at the kind of Premiership players that are either coming to their end or they want some more game time, some more exposure and stuff like that. So I think the league itself next year will only be stronger, and I really hope that people realise the quality of rugby being played there. Mate, thank you very much for your time. I'll leave you get back. Are you back in Penzance yet, or are you still up country?
Yeah, I'm still up north, but looking to get back sometime in July. Hopefully start of July or mid-July, yeah.
You'll start mid-July, kick off in January. That's some pre-season, mate.
I've been told from the other half, Robin, to thank you for everything that you've done.
It's my pleasure.
Obviously, you volunteered doing all this, and all the lads appreciate what you do, and all the commentary on Facebook. I'm sure all the fans appreciate it as well. So big thanks to you, mate.
No, my pleasure, mate. We'll have a good rest up before pre-season, and we'll see you on the pitch sometime.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you, mate.